Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is the Woodridge Parents Podcast, episode number 6. I am Daniel, aka Danny. Some call me old Deucey Staley. This is my beautiful and lovely wife, Kelly Staley.
Hello.
I don't really have many nicknames for her. Do you have any nicknames growing up? Kelso?
I did.
Did that count as a nickname?
In high school.
Oh gosh. Where'd you get that from? Was it just a play on the name, or was
No,
it deeper
it was not.
meaning?
No. Miss Jeanette Mocknez.
Shout out Woodridge.
Yes.
Woodridge person, Jeanette Mocknez.
Yeah, she's not here anymore. She doesn't live here anymore. But okay. During soccer, hers was JMO, mine was Kelso, and those are the only ones that actually really stuck.
Did it have any reference to the character?
That 70s shows? Yes, it did. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I would occasionally act like him.
Now we're getting to the truth here. And what references brought that together?
Just because I was such a happy-go-lucky person.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put it like that.
We'll leave it on that. I'm not going to dive any. I'm not going to dig any deeper into that one. So how are you? How was New Year's? How was our big festive party? Uneventful? What time did we go to sleep?
8:30, I think.
8:30.
I think it was 8:30. It might have been
like
a little later.
8:40.
Yeah, 8:45 I was going to say.
8:45. Yeah. We're early to bed and early to rise people.
Yeah.
I was discussing with someone's abuela, which is grandma, at school. When I was picking up Danny, we were discussing. She was saying to some other lady that, it's hard to get this person up in the morning for school, and it's they go to bed. And she said, they go to bed on a good time, but it's still hard to get her up. I let a gender in there. I'll have to cut that. So I said, well, what time is early? And they're like, early. They go. She's like, dang it. They're up there like 8:30, the latest. I was like, oh, I started to get palpitations myself already in the 8:30. What am I getting caught on here? This is annoying. The shirt. But yeah, our kids are up. Like we eat, 5:30. Weekends maybe a little later, but then on Friday when we try to do movie night, we have to eat dinner earlier.
I know
it just always gets screwed up.
Always.
But I mean, Danny and Johnny are pretty much in bed. Now, again, in bed and sleeping are definitely two different things because they're lunatics most of the time. But they go up to bed fairly early, 6:30.
I would say like the latest on like a regular non-eventful day, no judo, nothing like that.
Yes.
I would say that they're upstairs by conservatively like 6:45. But again, that also means going upstairs, brushing their teeth, getting them changed. Doing our little story, saying our prayers, doing our little story. And, we allow them to have this, have the TV on to go to sleep with it, which I am totally okay with because that's how I have to go to sleep too, with having something in the background. But they're out cold 7:15 ish.
Sometimes
usually
later.
Danny's earlier,
but
that's their routine. They know that that's their like alone time. That's their cool down time.
And listen, I did not really go to bed early. And I remember, this is a positive. I guess we could shout out this person. I specifically remember Christine Opito when we were young in Doyle at some point. And I remember she was like, I go to bed 8:30, 9 o'clock. My mom makes me go to sleep. And I was like, I'm watching like In Living Color at like 10:30 and, probably like third grade.
Oh, jeez, really?
That's why I'm so cool.
Yeah. Well. I remember we would hang out, because my dad was a cop, so he was at that point in our lives, he was always working, later shifts. So, my brother and I, my mom, we would snuggle into her bed, we watched TV for a little bit, and then I don't really remember what time, but I remember like 8:30 was the absolute latest, but like I was like older though.
Yeah, I remember it by shows.
Okay.
Like there would be like an 8 o'clock show.
Yeah.
And then it'd be like a 9 o'clock show. The 9 o'clock show was like getting late.
Yeah.
But I usually would like watch the show.
Knowing my mom too, I wouldn't put it past her to actually switch her clock around. Like, it's already 8:30. You guys go to sleep when it's 7 o'clock. I don't know.
Based on, but honestly, in the 90s,
know.
we basically based time on television.
Yeah. I didn't watch any of those shows at night. So
right, but like everything was so structured. I honestly think I used to think about this in college after I left high school and I know you had like some sort of like block schedule weird thing in college in high school, so I don't really get that. But at Woodridge, like every class was about the same time. I don't know if it was 45 minutes or
That's
50 minutes or whatever. Say 50 minutes. But then when you went to college, the classes were like an hour and 15 minutes.
And that's where
an hour and 5, whatever it was.
Yeah, that's what like because Queen of Peace wanted to do like college prep, so they so they instituted those times to get us ready for college. So like we wouldn't be shocked when like we were in class for like an hour and a half.
Now again, those classes I guess would be just twice a week, right? Twice
in college, you mean?
Yeah.
I remember. Okay, so this is my college schedule because I know I had certain classes that was like once a week, which is like 2.5 hours.
I had those two.
I had 2 classes that were like an hour 15. I mean, like twice a week, and then
twice
a week. But then when I would have like one. It was more like the like the basic core classes that would be an option.
So you would have like a Monday, Wednesday, a Tuesday, Thursday, or a Wednesday, Friday.
Well, generally. It would be from what I remember, it was either like a nighttime class, which it could have been anything other than Friday. Then it was either like a Tuesday, Thursday, or a Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Right.
But that was like maybe like a 45-minute class.
Right. So when I went to those classes that are now an hour and 15, and I think they were like 3-hour classes now. I think back to the other ones because it's an hour and 15, and then you get like a little break in between.
Yes, I remember.
A 10, 15-minute break to just go kind of walk around, go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
But I remember 2 things, really. I remember in high school, always kind of looking at the clock at about 26 minutes to a half hour.
Okay.
Like I could sit and pay attention.
Yeah.
And I would feel it start, my ADD would start tingling. And I would look at the clock and it would always be approximately between 26 minutes and a half hour. And I used to think about that being like from watching these shows on TV. Like growing up, like honestly, Daniel and Johnny have no idea, but like the structured, like the TV structure of the channels, like every half hour, every hour, like there was no 45-minute show back then.
Never.
Absolutely not. Like it would be a waste of money. Like, because once the show's over, people are going to switch the channel. You can't put a 15-minute show and then have to put commercials in. That, like the whole Netflix and all that like thing, it's great. But like it was so structured. Like you watched the show for 24 minutes because it had commercials in it. Like, Saved by the Bell, all these shows. Like,
TGIF, remember?
Yeah, of course.
Friday, that was like our normal Friday. Like that was like get your pizza. We have dinner. Sometimes if we were out to actually like watch TGIF with pizza, that was a special occasion.
Well, that was in the 90s where everyone was big on TV tables and eating in the dining room.
Well, only
it's not everyone, but
I mean, like only not when I guess I don't even know. I don't even like remember it, but like we would occasionally have that. Not every time, but occasionally.
Yeah, but what were we talking about?
About structured TV time.
Yeah, structured TV time. Yeah. So when I was in college, I kind of almost geared towards like the actual time of the high school class. So it kind of moved to like now I'm looking at the clock closer to the time where the high school class would have gotten out. And then you eventually get used to it, but it's kind of crazy how like your what is that
conditioned
clock here? But like your internal clock. Not my biological clock is ticking. Oh,
please.
But your circadian rhythm. Yes. Circadian rhythm. Okay. That's what it is. It kind of, that's why I wake up even on like Saturdays at like 5:45 now, which is great. So we have snow Monday. What have you heard about the snow? Is it really coming like big?
Do you want to know what? I mean, when I was in school on Friday, like certain people were talking about, no one really was like, oh my God, yeah, we're going to get obliterated. We're going to get a snow day. Nothing was really said about that. My dad said that we're supposed to be getting snow. He's like the weatherman. But I was even looking like on my phone just to kind of, like look to see if there's anything really happening. Not really.
Yeah, so I saw like the article on NJ.com that didn't really, it said it's going to be bad in South Jersey.
Estimate, yeah, okay.
But not really too bad up here. So it sounds like everyone's going to school and everything.
But it's funny though, because when I used to work at ShopRite, whenever there was an inkling of snow, the store was crazy packed. It was like it was like a war zone. It was like take cover. But then like
ShopRite and the weatherman have like a pact
in cahoots.
Yeah, they're definitely in cahoots.
But then like one yesterday I went to, pick up a couple of things at ShopRite. Again, it was packed. It was like I want to get in, get out because it was just
you
like
did actually go to ShopRite yesterday?
In Wellington, yeah. Well, I didn't go. No, I wouldn't go all the way to Lyndhurst for
Never
a couple things.
Bazaar.
I never set foot in there.
No, I won't do it. But
even though it's more convenient, but I mean, I just can't.
It's a protest.
I know.
I won't go in there until they change the logo. It's one of the worst logos I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Just in the naked eye, it seems like out of balance.
Yeah.
Like it's literally just like not aligned correctly.
Yeah.
It might be. I'm sure it is, but it just doesn't look that way.
Yeah.
Like just the size of the letters, especially with all the work that I do now. Like it is really hard to kind of get that in line because different letters are different sizes, and then if you change the font, it's
of course, yeah.
But like it just doesn't look like it's aligned. And I just out of protest, I can't go there.
I know. It would make my life a little bit easier, just like running there for milk or something. But I just can't do it yet. It takes me time.
Yeah, and I'm also like big on the points.
I know that too.
It's really funny how like, especially how much like I travel for work now. I only go to a couple places like Dunkin', 7-Eleven, and Wawa. That's it.
Well, even yesterday when I went to go pick up our Sparks and our I just want to get a couple of bananas. For those $2 worth of bananas, I still put my number in to make sure we got the points.
Of course, you have to.
Well, I actually told my mom about the point system at Stop Shop, and now she is just like all about it.
Oh, you have to.
No,
It
all
doesn't
about
make sense to not do it. You have to.
And even at BJ's too, like I save so much money just for. I mean, it's a lot cheaper there anyway. Like in bulk. I mean, like you're not getting like 5 things of shampoo, but I mean, like they come in 2-packs, whatever. But they'll still have on the app $3 clip coupon. So you're still saving a ton of money. And that'll last us for I don't know how long.
I don't really understand that though. Like maybe you could, as the ShopRite expert, like what is the benefit of having these coupons where like you have to like find them?
It's annoying.
But like even like when they were in the paper and stuff like that, like the customer just has to do like a chore to like do
it's
it.
All about effort.
And if you don't, right? But that's what I'm saying. Like, so are they trying to get them to not do it?
Yeah, pretty much.
But then what's the point of putting the coupon out to make it look like you have coupons? And then just hoping that most people don't come with the coupon?
Pretty much, yeah. Honestly, you have to say, I did this promotion, but the majority of people aren't going to be searching through these coupons or trying to find them, and they're still going to be making money.
What's like the goal? So just say you gave out a certain amount of coupons?
Yeah, because I think they get money back on the coupon too.
Yeah.
It's a very. I mean, like when I worked at ShopRite, it was. You had to do the coupon, and then if the coupon didn't go through, they have to override it. But they have to make sure they so many items for it. It was just a pain.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if you want to give the discount, just give the discount, dude.
Yeah.
Like what's the if the people can't find it, then they don't know about it, and you're not getting the good grace of the discount anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's like when I went to Wingstop.
Oh, Wingstop.
And I ordered, and I went to pick it up, and like under a certain amount of money, you can order cash and pay cash when you get there. And I didn't even do that on purpose, honestly. Like it just happened to be that. And there was like a discount, which I forgot to. You had like, I clicked the thing that said like the discount code, but then you still had to put the discount code in when you put it in, which I thought was kind of ridiculous. So as I tend to do when I don't think things are right, I just say, and I was very nice. I go, listen, man, you have this code. I put the thing in. I forgot to type the code in. I'd really appreciate it if you give me the $5 off or whatever.
Yeah.
It was. I think it was like a free chicken sandwich.
Okay.
The kid's like, oh yeah, so on the app, I can't really change it. We're really sorry. You have to do it next time. So
final last words of this poor 17-year-old child.
Well, I go, so no. I go, I didn't pay for it yet, so it would probably just be easiest for you to just put the discount on there, and then I'll give you money and we'll be good. Everything will be fine. Great. Kid's like, no, I can't do that. I go, okay. And like he looked he looked at the bag like to make sure like I actually did pay cash and I wasn't like just bullshitting with him.
Yeah.
And when he saw I did, he was like I was like, okay, dude. Well, I mean, I'm just gonna go then. He's like, oh well, you gotta pay for your order. I go, no, don't. I go, well, I'm not gonna take the order. You could just throw it in the garbage. I go, because I would like the discount, but I haven't paid you yet, and it's like a super easy thing. Like I just didn't put the code in. Like the discount is there.
Yep.
I didn't like take the effort. And first of all, it's kind of scammy because like I'm pretty sure I clicked like the banner that had the code. So you would think if you're clicking that banner, it's going to put the code in, which it didn't.
Yeah.
So then the kid gets his other manager who might have been like 22. And the guy's like, well, yeah, you got to put the code in. I go, but I didn't. So it would probably just be easier at this point for you to just comp the sandwich and we'll just be on our way.
Yeah.
I think I had the kids with me too, at least one of them.
Yeah, the kids with you.
Yeah, so like they weren't like really going to go crazy. Actually, they were lucky because that probably kept me in line more than.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So, we went back and forth, and like I just told the manager, I go, dude, like I don't understand. Like I'm not going to take this if you don't just put the coupon in. And he said, well, I'll just cancel it, and you could order it again and put the coupon in. And I go, yeah, I mean that's fine, dude, but like now, like see, these people don't understand. Like I worked in restaurants and hotels and stuff like that before, so. When he says that, I go, yeah. I go, but now you're going to have to write that whole ticket up as a full comp, and you're going to have to explain it to the GM and why you comped an entire meal, as opposed to now you're just comping a chicken sandwich. And the kid was like he knew what I said was like perfectly right. And he was like he didn't know what to say at first.
Yeah.
And I was like, and he was like, all right, fine, but next time you have to put the code in. I go, okay, cool, man. No problem. And they comped the chicken sandwich. I didn't, but, and to be fair, I might have, when I was younger, done some shit like that too. But at the end of the day, especially like when I worked for Marriott and stuff like that, when I worked for Rosario, customers right most of the time.
Yeah. Not
Not all the time. Some customers almost got beat up.
Oh my
plenty
God.
of times at that place. But you work for Marriott, the customer's pretty much right every time. So, it's no matter what, you're pretty much going to end up eventually doing it for them. So you might as well just cut to the chase and do it. And that's kind of the difference between these like individual places and the corporate places. You're pretty much always going to get what you want at the corporate places. Just like with the plane when we were going to go back to Aruba.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
I argued, but we got a plane ticket to go back to Aruba right the year after our honeymoon. We loved it. We knew we were trying to get pregnant. So we booked a flight because we were kind of knowing we weren't going to get away for a while. But then she did get pregnant, and then they had like the Zika.
Yeah.
So they said we couldn't go to the Caribbean. So I called, United or whatever, who's the only people I think I flight Delta like years ago.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, we can't go to the Caribbean. We're going to go to
West Palm.
West Palm. See our friends. Can we just switch the plane? Whatever the difference is, you can return, whatever. They go, oh, no, you're going to have to just book a whole new flight. And then this one's, you're going to have to pay for. I was like, okay, here we go. This is fun. And I, again, argued with these people for 20 minutes, a half hour. And eventually.
Meanwhile, we could have gotten a doctor's note too, because I was pregnant.
No, they were, it was something, it had something to do like with the timeline.
Oh, okay.
Like we didn't know you were pregnant. You had to do it like, a further, and it wasn't like days ahead.
No.
It was months.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't cancel it. And they eventually did cancel it. Of course they did. Obviously, because that's just, that's what was going to happen from the very beginning. But, they put up such a fight. And I get it because maybe, 70% of the people aren't going to argue with you and they're just going to pay. And then you run into people like me and then, you lose on those situations generally. Not all the time, but generally. I hope it doesn't really snow too much on Monday, really, because both of us are really kind of trying to get back on our grind physically. Diet-wise, too. The holidays are over and all that stuff, and we have no more excuses until, like, your birthday in 3 months. So we have to kind of push through these 3 months of no more snackies. At least no more weekday snackies.
I was going to say,
I mean, we'll eventually, if we could do a month of no weekday snackies, then we'll try to push to no weekend snackies. But it's hard because like the boys are going to get snackies.
Yeah, I mean,
So it's hard for us to like sit there on the weekends, stare at them eating ice cream, and just literally have it like all over their faces.
literally over their
we're just
face
like,
and their shirts, chests,
Like
everything.
We can't have it because their metabolism, like they'll eat the ice cream. And by the time they step off the chair, it's gone.
It's gone. Yeah.
And they have abs. It's unbelievable. Even that video of the gritty, we had the boys do the gritty on Instagram, and as they mostly do, have their shirts off. And it's good lighting and a good filter and everything, but there have been a couple people like, wow, the kid's kind of look jacked.
Yeah.
And like, there's some of them where Danny's like kind of going like this, and his chest
Yeah.
and his shoulder muscles are kind of jacked. Like,
Yeah.
it is crazy. I'd have to think he's got to be the strongest kid in the grade. He's not the biggest kid, but with judo and everything,
He's solid.
he really is. He's certainly not the fastest. He chugs along though.
He does. Well, yeah.
But if
When he wants to run, he'll run.
Yes, Anna, we'll see about football. I'd like to have him in a position where he has the ball a little bit to just bowl kids over, but
Yeah.
we got to see what kind of kids are on the team. He's probably going to end up having to be on the line on offense. Yeah. But that's all right. As long as we got Mateo.
Yeah. Then you have John. Then you have our John.
Johnny's a whole nother
story.
wrecking ball.
Oh my God.
He's going to be.
I want to see how he is with T-ball this year. I know it's like, but it's. I kind of want to
gonna
see
be
like
weird
how
because like he's always been like the little
on the
brother,
bat boy.
like
He was the
just
bat
kinda
boy. He's not the
hanging
bat
out.
boy
Like,
anymore.
now it's like him.
He's like a player.
No.
He's been
gonna like obviously he's gonna hang out like in the dugout during our games.
Yeah.
The games wouldn't be at the same time. Obviously.
No, well, from what I was told from Brianna, I know that it's actually a couple during the week now, I think, and then on like later on in the afternoon, I think on Saturdays. Again, I'm not 100% sure, but we'll find out.
Yeah, I mean the T-ball games are like
it's only Saturday morning.
Some of them, and
yeah,
was that
8? Was
maybe
9:15? Was it 9:15 and like 11 or 9:15 and like 10 or something? Yeah.
But yeah, so we're getting back on the jiu-jitsu and judo grind.
Yes.
I haven't, since I've been working so much, I haven't really trained consistently in months. We went Saturday, trained a little bit, felt good. A little sore, but not too bad. I feel better today. I was sore yesterday, but I don't feel as bad today. But it's super important. It's important for your mental health to really get involved in these things, which is honestly true. Like I've been doing judo. I've been back there now, gosh, like 3.5 years. Is it 4 years?
I would say it's more than that.
Well, Danny is going to be 7. He started at 4.
Yeah.
And I wasn't there a year before Daniel, was I?
I think you were.
All right, so
I really think you were.
We'll call it 3 or 4 years. And I did a 3 to 4 year stint prior to meeting you.
Yeah.
But we took those couple months off. But a lot of my good buddies are from judo. A lot of my good friends are from the dojo. Danny's got friends from the dojo. It's ours is a little far from here. It's in Totowa. So it's harder for us to kind of hang out with the kids in class per se. But it makes it's super important both for the kids and honestly just as much, if not more, for us.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Which kind of goes into the next thing of what I wanted to kind of discuss on was the significance of athletics, playing sports, or some sort of groups for adults. We're always concerned with getting our kids involved in so many things, and they are.
Yeah.
Gosh, I still want to get them piano lessons and singing lessons and all this stuff soon. If it were up to me, they would play 4 sports and dance and sing and do it all. And they learn so much and they grow so much from those interactions. And then we kind of seem to forget about that. And when we're adults, again, we fall off from friends just naturally. Things happen in life. And then we wonder why, why we had so much fun and energy and just virality for life when we were kids. I know, I
hear him thumping the lung upstairs.
Compared to what we do now. And, physical fitness is a huge part of that.
Oh,
so is the diet, but that's something we should be kind of consistently striving for, but knowing about no matter what.
Yeah.
I really think doing things in a group or in a class setting, even if you work out at the gym a lot, and like you have friends at the gym.
Yeah.
Because there's plenty of guys that, Strong Shapely who kind of, they're big and jacked, but they're kind of old, and they do a little bit of lifting, but they're hanging out,
but that's
messing around with buddies.
That's their social environment.
Yeah, that's their hangout.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys probably don't even like drink or anything like that. Like,
yeah.
But then there are like Vinny used to talk about this bunch of like, it'd be like old Polish or Russian guys who'd be like outside in the parking lot. They'd be like drinking a can of beer and like smoking a cigarette and like crush the can of beer and put the cigarette and then go in there and just rip it.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
Well, I remember when I used to work out at Classic Athletic Club down over there. Like, my brother was there. My parents always went there. This is before.
That was a big.
This is before you, before
too.
Kids, everything. And those, and it was while I was teaching in Lyndhurst too, and everyone like that was like the place to be. So like as soon as school got out, it was like people were in school, they just went down over there. So it was like a different environment for people just to kind of like, I don't want to say hang out, but to like hang out, just like kind of like vent, just kind of like, all right, so what happened, like how was your day, everything. And then you kind of go home, obviously feeling good and just like your little social interaction.
Especially back in my first tenure of judo, the dojo was in a different place. So it was closer to Route 3. And that's when I used to go to LA Fitness in Clifton. So I would, if I didn't go to the dojo, I would go to LA Fitness in Clifton in the morning and lift and play basketball.
Okay. Oh yeah.
And like I got a bunch of like friends and stuff there too. So it doesn't have to be, fighting or choking anybody out.
Yeah.
Like it can be other sports. I know you were going to play the softball league or whatever.
Yeah, I wasn't. Since I didn't actually live in Lyndhurst, I wasn't able to
your
play.
status didn't get you in.
But
But did the league go off?
I don't think so.
Right.
So I didn't get a phone call from my other buddies that were in town.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's something that I think would be a great thing in Woodridge. Honestly,
I think they have a men's.
They have a men's. I know. I really looked into it. They have a men's one, but I mean, honestly, I think that would be great for women. Just like even a lot of moms that used to play could, I mean, that's a great thing just to kind of have like, get like a mom group, talk about, like school, especially in the summertime when like the kids are off, just like a way for moms and, like it doesn't have to be like a 40 and over league. I mean, even like an 18 and up, I know they have a volleyball.
You'd get a lot of people, dude.
I know they have like a volleyball thing, a volleyball, league in Lyndhurst. So I actually played it for a couple years because Tara was a big volleyball player. So it was me, Tara, my Aunt Jet. She was
fun, man.
It's a fun time just to kind of get out, kind of do your own thing. And, I mean, if you happen to go to the bar afterwards, you have to go to the bar afterwards. You know what I mean? But I think it would be a great thing to do. Because, I mean, if they have one for men, they should have one for girls. Like for women.
Yeah,
I think that would be a great thing to do.
If you get the people to play, I don't see why not.
I mean, I know I could probably get a couple people to play.
I think you'd get a lot of people to, especially
I don't
if it
really
was younger.
Know
like
too many. I know like Teresa. I know Chris. Like
yeah,
I don't know
think
other
you would have
people.
To, honestly, I don't think you would have to even really get the people.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, I don't really have time for that.
If you just kind of like
put it out there.
If the rec department, I mean, the rec department would basically run it as far as I know.
No, yeah.
I think they run the softball league. I wasn't really into softball beer league. Those guys, a bunch of my friends used to play it all the time. And they used to play another Richfield Park or I don't know, something like that.
When my dad was, they used to have a cop team for men's softball.
Yeah, they played it a lot. So,
but I think that would be a good thing just to kind of just to have another opportunity for people to get out, and especially people that are like new to town. Like I'm new. I'm like technically new to town since me personally. I mean, you've been here your whole entire life, so everyone knows when you hear Staley. Like obviously they know who I'm married to, but I mean it would just be something good for people that don't really know a lot of people to kind of, like to get involved and just to
you have the brand new fields. You got plenty of fields.
Yeah. So
and those fields got lights too. So like
yeah,
that doubles the amount of playing time.
And you don't even need like a lot of.
That would be sweet. See, like I used to go to your
teams.
softball games in Lyndhurst. That's far away, but like if they were here, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
You just bring your boys.
You
and
went to like 2 of them.
I went to, I believe, one of them.
I was giving you a little bit of extra. Yeah.
It was atrocious.
Okay, it wasn't that bad. We were all getting kind of older at that point.
It was pretty bad, dude.
Well, it was just to have fun.
Sure.
I mean,
it certainly wasn't fun for the spectators.
They had to be there.
That just showed how much I love you, Kelly.
Exactly. But the spectators had to go.
Yeah.
There wasn't like a choice. It was like, all right, go or you're not having dinner tonight, basically.
Yeah.
So
I saw your dojo had 58 people at a Friday morning 5 a.m. jiu-jitsu class.
yeah, it's crazy.
Shout out old buddy Jan Druso. 58 people training at 5 o'clock in the morning.
I don't know how they even fit that many people in there, honestly.
It was tight.
I was like, wow. I mean,
it was really tight.
on a regular like Monday, Wednesday, they have at least, I'll say maybe like at least 30, and it's tight.
Wild.
It's tight.
He did say it's like mostly cops, like a large majority of cops.
It's probably,
so he's got that kind of like, there's like a group.
That core group, yeah.
There's like an Instagram page. There's like a group, NJ Leo Jiu-Jitsu or something like that. Like, so there's a number of dojos that go around in the whole state. I think they have like there's like a state police like training center.
I think there is that too, actually.
Like they had like a wrestling mats or whatever. So I guess they do jiu-jitsu on there too.
That's good though.
Yeah, I mean it's great for the cops, dude. I again, I don't want to ruffle any feathers with this, but like all the cops, no matter a local cop or a state trooper, should have physical fitness requirements.
Absolutely.
I don't really understand why they don't. It doesn't really make sense to me.
I mean, you have to qualify like to get into the program to even like go to the academies and stuff.
I don't know.
So I don't know what happens
how much you
after
do or
that.
You don't, to be honest. I don't know.
Well,
and what you have to when you're young, you have to be fit, and then you can just be a cop until you're 70.
I don't think there's any. Again, I don't know for a fact.
I'm pretty sure it's just the state troopers
since,
have physical fitness requirements.
Do you mean like annually per year, or is it just like to enter?
Sort of, no. Like
okay, that's different. Yeah,
and like actual like all the time you have to be fit. I don't understand why like you would oppose that. I'm saying you. I'm not saying you. No,
I don't
know. I'm just saying like in general, like I don't understand why anyone would oppose that, because listen, if someone like if you're with the kids and someone's attacking you and the cop is not in shape enough to help you,
it's like, okay, thanks.
Yeah, I don't,
Yeah.
And not for nothing, that's how like these people get shot too. Because if a cop knows he's not going to be able to beat this guy up or at least subdue him,
yeah,
he's going to just take out the gun,
yeah,
or take out the baton and just beat them.
Yeah,
that was the thing. Like when I think they banned like chokeholds in like the cops or whatever. And one of the guys was just saying, the only other option is to just beat someone until they stop complying. If you get them in a chokehold, you can pretty much get them to stop applying. And if you let go, they're going to be okay.
Yeah.
And if you don't let go,
that's another issue. But yeah,
again, we're getting way out of the group here. But again, it's super important for adults to be involved. If you don't play sports or anything like that, there's other things. There's other groups
like strength training,
even other. Yes, you should. It should pretty much do as much physical strength training as you can.
Yeah.
But if you're hurt or whatever, get involved in some sort of group, some sort of activities where you can do things with other people. It's going to make a big difference in that.
Especially as people get older as well.
Of course, dude. That's listen, and I get it. Like my grandma, who lived with us for a couple years before she passed, she lived here originally, and then they went to Belleville with my grandpa, and then she lived here for maybe the last 10 years before she passed. And by the time she got here, she was old. She couldn't drive anymore. Once she couldn't drive anymore, it kind of went downhill. Yeah, because she was driving all over the place, Belleville, back in here constantly. And they had, they were in the Lyndhurst Elks Club, like. They were in the VFW. Or
very involved,
yeah. They were very active, very involved. Had a bunch of friends from Belleville and Nutley and places I didn't know any of these people. But if they had we would have family, holidays over there. But every once in a while, they would have like a little bash at their house or whatever. Yeah. And there, would be a lot of people there. He would go golfing all the time, whatever. But once he passed, and gosh, Aunt Ann passed before him and my dad, so it was just her left. Are you going to be 73 years old in basically a new town and go hang out and make friends?
It's rough.
I used to understand, I used to say they have the Civic Center, they have the bus that comes around, will take you a community bus or whatever. But
you don't want to be making new friends at that age.
Yeah, dude, I don't know if I
it's hard enough to make new friends at 40, let alone making new friends at 73.
I don't know if I would have wanted to either, to be completely honest.
You know,
It's tough. It's rough. But, you have to, you should try to stay involved as much as possible because it catches up on you quick.
absolutely.
It catches up on you real quick. You're left with nobody and nothing. Okay, on time here. So one thing that I did kind of want to touch on, I labeled it as state of restaurants in Woodridge. There's always been people complaining, and there was one post. The post is from a while ago in one of the Woodridge parent groups, but it was like, oh, why don't businesses or why don't restaurants last in town and this and that. And a lot of people had a lot of different ideas. It's always about the Woodridge Inn where, what is it? Is it Gus's now?
I'm not sure.
The place
I think so.
Gus's.
Oh yeah. Gus's, yeah.
Right. So it was Gus's and it was Maggie's and it was
Angeloni's. Yeah,
it was the Woodridge Inn for decades and decades and decades and decades before that. And it's been a couple different places since. And, I don't know if Gus's is doing well or not. They say, people were like, oh, they're not doing well. I know they pack it out the entire month of November and December.
Yeah, for that Christmas pop-up thing, yeah.
And I don't know how they're doing on a Saturday night at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. And a lot of these commenters who might be octogenarians, I don't know how late they're up and see. I don't.
Yeah, you don't know the whole story.
They have no idea whether Gus's is doing well or not.
Yeah.
And Gus's is run by a group that has multiple restaurants. So they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They'll close up shop if they're losing money and just go work at their other places. They have plenty of restaurants. And it's always an argument of, well, we need a nice cheap town bar with cheap beer and burgers and French fries, and we could bring the family to for a cheap dinner. And yeah, I guess that would be great, but
But if you get a cheap dinner, then you're gonna have people are gonna be complaining because it's not going to be up to their level either.
Sure.
So if they want
but
cheap
also,
things.
You can go down to the diner.
Yeah.
Go down to the Meadowlands, dude. It's right down the block.
Absolutely.
These restaurants are trying to be nice places.
Yeah. And draw in nice crowds.
And draw nice crowds. They say Rutherford's got better places. Rutherford's got great places. But
it's also a dry town, though, too.
Yeah, but I think they're changing that now.
Are they changing it now?
Yeah, regardless, I mean, you're not gonna make a lot of money from a place that just sells cheap cheeseburgers and beer.
No,
that's not a thing anymore.
No,
it's just not.
It's not like a mom and pop soda shop or something.
I don't know if you could afford the rent on the boulevard just doing that.
No,
and you're not going to have people pushing their way in to get a cheap burger on Tuesday night.
Do you remember when TGI Fridays was big and Cool Hands was big? I remember it was a 2-hour wait just to sit down.
That stuff wasn't cheap back then.
No, it wasn't cheap. But things are changing. People are not getting paid what they used to get paid. Things are more expensive, and I
get it. It's kind of like you're walking a tightrope, because if we, the town is transitioning. It's well, I won't say it's not, but there's more people with money.
Yeah.
You think about this all the time. Oh, why do they tear these houses down and then build gigantic houses on top of them? Well, are you going to tear the house down and just build another small house on top of it? If you're tearing a house down, you're going to build a big, nice house on it.
And to get more money for that bigger house.
Yeah, or just to live in a nicer house. I don't, if there's plenty of small houses you can buy in town. Now, those are expensive now too. Don't get me wrong. The prices on everything is kind of out of whack, but it's kind of it. Now, is that a good thing or is it a bad thing that it's not as much of a blue collar town? It's becoming more of a high class town.
I don't know. I mean,
it's the politically correct thing to say it's better to be, blue collar, but I don't know. Listen, we're certainly not hoity-toity by any means, but there's new places over there for people to live. There's new houses here. There's new houses built everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't really know kind of what people want. And even like, so that burger place, Bun Buddies, they talk about it. They're like, oh, we love it. We're going to support it, whatever.
Yeah.
Place is empty all the time.
I know. It's
And
really
it's good.
yummy. Yeah, it's good.
It's good. It's good. It's not as good as Five Guys. And I'm sorry, dude. I love you. But again, this also goes into the same idea. Those same people who want a cheap burger place also want you to just support places in Woodridge.
Yeah.
You know, like what if like Five Guys isn't a cheap burger place, but the value you get from Five Guys is certainly sufficient.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And not for nothing, Five Guys is basically the same price as Bun Buddies.
You're right.
A double at Bun Buddies was like $13. That's the same thing as Five Guys, and you get unlimited toppings.
Yeah.
So are we supporting a place because it's in Woodridge and has a good value, or are we just looking for the best bargain? Because they're kind of making the argument on both ends. They're like, oh, we want a place that's cheap burgers and where we can just hang out. Like, well, the best value burger, go down to Five Guys.
Yeah.
Because it's the same price as Bun Buddies.
But they have to drive a little bit farther.
Oh, that's
the thing.
Right, but it's not that far.
I know. No, I know.
But see, that's the thing. Are we supporting the business or do we want the best value?
Honestly, as a mom and as a like families, you want the best value because
I agree.
I mean,
I think now I am
you have to
very
worry about your family.
I am very loyal to the places that I go, like Bocce.
Oh yeah,
Bocce
great.
197. Love it. Get them often
Yeah,
because I think it's a good value.
yeah, exactly.
You know, well, we spent like $60 the other day. We spent like a little extra. We get the shrimp and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
I'll praise them all the time, and I'll go eat there all the time. I love Bocce.
absolutely. Yeah, even the Greek place.
Greek place is good
I
too.
love that place.
It's a good value. They give you a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
The problem is, and that's probably why Bocce in particular, the Greek place is a separate thing. Like they do really well. They have another restaurant. Greek food, their menu is kind of tight as well. They don't have a lot of crazy things.
Okay.
They make pasta, stuff like that. Greek food generally does well.
okay.
Because it's, they make a penny vodka and
so
you can get a
good.
gyro and you
Yeah.
can get like chicken fingers for the kids.
Yeah, it's great. Good variety.
Bocce has a very small menu. They don't make many things at all. They make the burgers. They make chicken quesadillas. They make tacos. They make the
shrimp.
Cajun shrimp.
Yeah,
And, French fries and stuff. And I might be missing some other stuff.
yeah,
They make like a Chinese food thing, like a teriyaki with rice.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
all basically kind of quick things that they can bang out very quickly.
yes,
That's how you do it. You have to have a small variety of things that match up with each other that you can get done quickly and get them out quickly.
yeah.
I don't know how many people go in and sit and eat at Bocce, but they have.
I don't
little-
really think. I mean, they do have a spot to sit, but I don't think that's really like their main audience.
No, yeah, I would think to pick
You
up
know,
and
and just go.
and the delivery is
Yeah,
the main thing. But that's that's the thing. Like you have to be able to provide a value. That's why pizza does so well. That's why Amelia's is still there. Because, for example, when we went to Bun Buddies, we got 2 doubles. The kids got 2 singles, and we got like one or two large fries.
Yeah,
And like drinks. And it was like $50-something.
yeah.
And it was good. It was good. I'm sorry, Woodridge, but it's not as good as Five Guys.
No,
And I think Five Guys is the best. I think
I love
Five Guys is
Five
better than
Guys.
Shake Shack. I think Five Guys is better than pretty much
making me
anything.
hungry right now over
Right.
there,
So, I
Sally.
mean,
So stop.
But I'm just to be fair, if,
no, I
if
know.
you're going to say, well, Shake Shack is better than, I don't think so, but let's just factor
love
that
Five
into
Guys.
this argument. The guy at Bun Buddies is very nice. I like to support
yeah.
him. But if we spend $50 when we order from House of Kites Pizza,
I know.
I'm not ordered this, sorry. Because we order from House of Kites Pizza, $50
Yeah,
is going to get us like a large pie with a half topping, mozzarella sticks,
and
something else.
Yeah,
That's way more food than you're getting with the burgers.
exactly.
I know burgers are popular now, dude, but it's hard to support a burger place. They're not that high margin of a thing. Not
Yeah.
like pizza or even all these new like Mexican and Latino places are surviving that are making like tacos and stuff like that. Those are kind of generally quicker, higher margin things
Yeah.
too. Because you can use the different types of meats for multiple dishes, and then you just got tortillas and you got, vegetable, lettuce and stuff like that. Those things do well too. But burger places are hard. It's going to be hard to do
It
that.
is.
They got that Arabic place in Woodridge that apparently does great. There's people there all the time.
Oh,
Well, it's like the Mediterranean place in between kind of all those places.
oh, okay. All right.
They seem to have, from their social media, it seems to be having parties all the time.
Okay.
When I was at a Lions Club meeting at Amelia's, there were people going in there like dressed up like
Really?
like fancy. So I think the state of the restaurants is good, but I think people are going to complain.
It's hard to. People are going to complain about everything and anything, and no one's going to be happy with one thing. It's just how it is, unfortunately. You know, you just have to worry about what you like, what your family likes, and what's the best value for your family, and that's all you can really do.
That's right.
That's all that I really worry about too. You know,
Wellington, Dunkin', Hasbrook Heights Pizza, and
that's
East Rutherford Five Guys.
at 7-Eleven.
I go to Woodridge 7-Eleven.
Oh,
okay. Woodridge, yeah. So I guess Bocce. Empanada place is pretty good. I like how to eat empanadas. I guess
and Mills Bakery. You cannot forget Mills Bakery.
That's a little different.
I know.
Bakery's a little different.
People come from all over the place. Whenever
Mills
I even give
too.
gifts to teachers in Lyndhurst, Mills. Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, we have to do some more sweatshirts for Mills. Actually, I have to put that order through. Just about wrapping up almost to your stuff here. Real quick, we did watch 3 or 4 episodes last night.
I think 3 we did.
Of the WWE documentary on Netflix.
Great.
It's awesome.
I love it.
It's so good. And I'm not like, I was fairly into wrestling. I'm not into wrestling now. I'm not like a super duper wrestling guy. And we're just up to, it's basically from the beginning of Vince McMahon up to now.
Generation X isn't almost going
not
to?
Yet.
Not yet.
The beginning of Bret Hart and Undertaker and all that stuff.
Okay. And like Shawn Michaels.
Mid-90s. Yeah. Shawn Michaels, but way before Degeneration X.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's awesome.
It's great.
If you're really any sort of interested in WWE, it's really good.
It really is.
And it's like a documentary. And Vince McMahon's in it, but it's like before he got in trouble. So like he's just
talking,
spewing everything. It's awesome. So check that out. Kelly, what do you got?
Okay, so a few things. Schools are back in session. We had those 2 full days after New Year's. So everything is back to regular schedule. On January 6th, there's a Board of Education meeting. January 16th, there is an early dismissal. There is a teacher professional development. January 20th, Martin Luther King, there's no school. The following week, from January 28th to the 31st, is midterms and also parent-teacher conferences, which also entails early dismissal the entire week for the children. That's pretty much all there is for schools this week coming up. And actually for the month, if there's anything else going on, I will talk about it next week. Again, baseball and softball signups are still underway. A little side note, if you register from now to January 15th, the cost for your first child is $100 and any additional child is $85. If you sign up after January 15th, so January 16th and on, there is a late fee sign up, which is your first child is $125 and any additional child is $110. So we actually just got an email about this, and only 64 out of like 400 children from last year only registered. So I think people are a little bit behind with the holidays and everything. So hopefully there will be a little bit more of signups from here on out. That's basically it. There wasn't really too much going on. Sports wise, was there anything really going on?
The Christmas tournaments are over. The boys and girls had 2 games. They did not go their ways. A little bit of wrestling. Nobody I really noticed, but no, not particularly. It's kind of starting out strong. I think the boys have a game tomorrow. So basketball season and wrestling season for both boys and girls are in full effect.
Yeah. That's really it. I mean, nothing too much. Usually January is pretty
Yeah, there's not going to be
mellow
really
and
all
yeah.
too much, especially sports wise. It'll just be basketball and wrestling.
Yeah.
Anything else that comes up.
Yeah.
But if you have anything that you want to tag us in, please do so. We will reshare for you any Woodridge events or sports or parties or anything fun. Other than that, Kelly, do you have anything to finish with?
Nothing really. Have a have a good new year, and we will see you soon again.
Okay, we'll see you later. Bye.